Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kiran Patil,
Yeah. Can you hear me?
for this webinar on NISP, National Innovation and Startup Policy. Now before I welcome all of you to this webinar, I'm reminded of the a quote which says, creativity is thinking up something new, whereas innovation is doing new." Right, with that, I welcome all of you to the webinar on NISP, National Innovation and Startup Policy. Now, this policy are the guidelines which encourages young budding student entrepreneurs and to cultivate innovative ideas in them. Now, to talk on this more, we have our resource person, the guest speaker of the day, that is Dr. Praveen Kulkarni. I welcome you, sir. Now, it is my immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Praveen Kulkarni to all of you. Now, Dr. Praveen Kulkarni has completed his Bachelor's in Commerce from Karnataka University, Dharwad. Later on, pursued his PGDM in Management from KLS Institute of Management Education and Research, and then has completed his Master's in Commerce from Karnataka University, Dharwad, and then has completed his PhD from VTU, Belgavi. Now, Dr. Praveen Kulkarni has a vast teaching experience which spans more than 17 years and is been associated with very prominent institutions like Gokte Institute of Technology, KLS Institute of Management Education and Research, and is currently the Special Officer of VTU. So, and he has a number of quality publication under his belt. To name a few, role of strategic management for employee engagement and skill development, organizational culture and employee job satisfaction, emotional intelligence and employee performance as an indicator for promotion, a study uh, social media text, a source of personality prediction, personality traits and industry 4.0. Now, these are some of the publications of Dr. Praveen Kulkarni, and his current research interests are focused around human resources management and its impact on improving people management in small and medium scale industries. Within this arena, research areas where the impact is felt on key aspects of technology, psychology, and people management. Now, with this introduction of today's guest speaker, Dr. Praveen Kulkarni, I welcome the guest speaker on behalf of all the participants and BLDA's CET. So, welcome you, sir.
Yep. Thank you. Am I audible?
Now, I would request our HOD, Dr. Pushpa B. Patil, ma'am, to please welcome the gathering.
Good afternoon to all. I, Pushpa B. Patil, Head of CSC Department, BLDA's Dr. P.G. Halkatti College of Engineering. It is glad to welcome you all to webinar on National Innovation and Startup Policy. I, and on behalf of Principal Sir, heartily welcome today's resource person, Dr. Praveen Kulkarni, Special Officer, VTU Belgavi. And I also thank Dr. Praveen Kulkarni sir for accepting our invitation to deliver a talk on National Innovation and Startup Policy. Thank you, sir. Welcome you once again.
Thank you.
I request sir to continue the session.
Yeah. Am I audible? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
You are able to hear me?
You can, sir.
You are able to hear me? Madam, sir, can you hear me? Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, you are hear me?
Yes. Hello. Yes, sir. You're audible now.
Hello. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Yeah, done, done. That's it. That's what we wanted. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Can
Thank
I
you
start
so
the
much.
session? Thank you. Really nice. It was really nice introduction. Really nice to share with your institute, BLP. Okay, and any invitation from BLP is really a good one. We have seen, I've seen a lot of we have seen a lot of good things, good practices in the institute, and there's a lot of learning which always has gone with the BLD. Okay, and today you want to have we want to have a small chat and try to understand the new policy that is coming up over there, the NISP, a national innovation and startup policy. In fact, this is something which AICT and national policy or the startup policy came up over there. Okay. This did exist. It's nothing that new has been there, but it's an old one which has been refocused to two people over there. Okay. So when we look at it, this policy speaks from very clearly from the perspective of students and faculty. So that's why it is under the ambit of AICT. Okay, that's purely into the ambit of AICT, and that starts with that. Okay. The whole background of this is a lot of students and faculties are now into innovation. That is one area. Secondly, we find other thing than this, the people are getting into innovations and trying to commercialize it. So we do get a word called as commercialization of innovations or so on. Okay. So considering this backdrop, many people to try to venture into it, and that is where they got something called as a startup to come into it. Okay. And today, the figure which we have around in 2019 as a such, 1920, the around more than 5,000 startups are alone there in Karnataka itself. Okay, and innovation has been flooded. But somewhere down the line, the role of education institute, is there anything, any problem that you have got with it? I got a pop-up message over there. Turn off on the video. Can you please turn on the video? I'm trying to do that, but in the meantime, okay, I had just a message. So somewhere down the line, with this 5,000 startups or the other, this one, you're working very well. But somewhere down the line, government was feeling the youngsters should be given some kind of an opportunity as such. Okay, and they should be more focused towards it. So that is why in 2019, wherein AICT played a very important role, and they came out with this policy called as National Innovation and Startup Policy. If you open up the policy, you'll find it around 7 ambits in that. Okay, and it starts with the governance as to how to go about with this. Second, it looks it from the point of view of faculty. Three, it looks it from the point of view of infrastructure. Okay. It looks it from the point of norms for the students and so on. So let me look at it. We are in, when we look at this policy as an implementation, we are still in a lot of nascent stage for most of it. So if you try to look at those who are the NISP members over there, you find the NISP team asking for a lot of information. Right now they're asking for the policy to be framed over there and so forth and so on. But the main intention over here is that over a period of 2 years, they want the institute to get into this kind of an policy and try to develop the aspect of this one. You're trying to get into the aspect of this business, okay, and trying to get into the policy as such. So that is where they have come into the picture, okay? And that is where you find the NISP team is working very towards this. Let me take the first one over there. If you just, if anybody has the NISP policy documents or so on, you do find very interesting things which are there with that. Okay, and it gives a lot of information. It gives a lot of information. Okay, and it starts with saying that strategy and governance. Okay, so it says that when you want to look at it, this policy requires mainly towards establishment of an institute. Normal when we get over there, 1% should be devoted towards the incubation as a such. So that is the first requirement that comes over there as per the policy as a such, okay, and that is where we need to look towards it. Okay, so that is interesting thing about that's where we are dedicating some amount of money towards the innovation or the startup policy as such. So that is the first thing which they are trying to look into it. They are trying to look into it. Okay, and second most important, many of the organizations really are finding it very difficult. What should be the infrastructure to be provided for incubation? Okay? In fact, when we looked into so many incubations over there, we visited a lot of incubations. We have seen over there, infrastructure is one building and a facility. Infrastructure goes beyond this. One, do you have any tie-ups with any large laboratories so that if there is an innovation that is happening, how best you are able to cooperate with those labs and provide the support for the innovation. So that is one thing which they look at it. Okay, so not as such, but also the MOUs, okay, or the lab facilities which are there. Not necessary. We had a very interesting thing over there, okay, in fact, which is there in my parent organization and also over there, in which you also they look at it. Belgaum Foundry Cluster. I'm just giving you one example over there. They've got a good lab for a foundry industry. They've got a good facility over there. Okay? So the best thing what they have done is that they have made up a tie-up with these Belgaum Foundry Cluster as a such. The idea this one over there. So what happens over there is that those who want to do a startup in the foundry related over there and they want some expertise as such, the students can avail that benefit of going there. Okay, so it is instead of investing a huge money in trying to look at it, there is an established lab. There are experienced people over there. Find help over there. So it's the expenses, what are the charges, you can always tell, okay, fine. You are having an you are giving an opportunity to a student who is in wants to do a startup in the foundry industry, he gets into the land, a established land, and have financial connections. Now that makes sense. That's it. This is how infrastructure is being viewed over there. It is not confined over there. Now when we speak of something called as cloud as such, for the cloud and computers and technology, you can always have an opportunity to do an MOU with the larger organizations. And that is where the startups infrastructure really speaks now. Okay, so infrastructure is not only confined to a building as such. So we do find startups who are established in somewhere in Delhi, but still they would like to get associated with us and try to look at it because there are some infrastructures which are available with this university. So that it makes sense for them, okay, and it makes sense for us. So it's on a, not on geographical boundaries now. So it's quite, and this is what is the new ecosystem which is being found over there. And this present government is quite well. You can always utilize this kind of an things. Okay, I'm audible over there. Okay, I'm trying to turn on my but I okay, able to
Can you please try now? Hello?
I don't know.
Yes, sir. I think if you try turning it on now, we may succeed, I guess. Yeah, you're audible. Yes, sir, you're audible. If it is not possible, you may continue with the audio itself. Yes, sir. Hello. Hello. If it is not possible, you may continue with the audio itself. Yeah. Yes, sir. Now you're visible. Thank you.
Are you able to hear me? Now, this is what I'm looking at it. Because most of the things are difficult. So, instead of structure, we need to go beyond it. It's not more than but we need to get something. That is the most important thing in this whole process is establishment of an IPR cell. Reason, okay, that we come with innovation. Somebody told to them that you need to safeguard your innovation. Okay? So, in that case, if the aspect, okay, you need to take care of it, okay, and trying to tell them that you need to have this kind of a procedure. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Your voice is breaking up. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
I'm audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible now.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Uh, Now, if you look at it, the third most important aspect, what we were discussing over there, of establishment of an IPR cell. Okay. So it's very important to have something called as establishment of an IPR cell. IPR, why? Students need to be made aware about how they need to look towards their intellectual properties. The students develop some innovations, how to go with that innovation and using something called as copyright. What is a procedure? Okay, if you have got a new product being innovated over there, how to protect that innovation to the patents, how to file for the patents, how to go about the patents. So if there is a dedicated cell who can take care of this, it makes a huge difference. Students will find it very interesting to look at it. And the best part, if it is available on campus and the faculty is able to coordinate and give the insights, it makes a difference over there. Because when we speak of IPR, it looks like a law. But if the faculty is there and if they are able to get connected with the students, students find it very easy to what to go about it. Because there are a lot of terminologies which are legal terms. But if the faculty is able to understand that and connect it to the students, students would really love that particular aspect of looking at it. So IPR is going to be in future is going to be something very important thing as such. So we need to look at it from the IPR perspective. Okay, then another one over there. Okay. Next one which they have looked into it over there is that few of the institutes have to identify a domain area. Okay, that means now that's something over there which people, if I have to speak of the Bijapur region over there, the agri startups can make a huge difference because geographically you are available. Okay, agriculture is far ahead compared to others over there. People have spent a lot of innovations over there. Okay, that's one. Second, in agriculture, is a really boom time there over there. People have done a lot of things over there. A lot of startups would like to do something in over there. So identify a domain area where you would like to contribute to over there. Okay, so as an institute and as a student, where do you look at it? So technology related horticulture, or it might be anything over there. So that is one way of looking at it. Or initially people look at it, I welcome all the startups and later on let's see as to how we sail through. Okay, that is one way of looking at it. But the best way of doing is that what we can contribute to the geographical location where our startups or the incubation center is going to be established over there. So when I speak about Bijapur over there, I feel one of the best areas is agri sector over there. It is really good time that's there, and the horticulture is a really big time over there. If people can look into it, startups can be really given opportunity over there. And there is a need to give solutions to lot of horticulture challenges which they face. And if the startups are there and it can start in one of the institutes, it's like really a good time for the people. It makes a lot of sense. So try to find out the domain areas. Okay. So in Belgaum, we look at it something in the foundry industry. In Bangalore, it looks towards the technology industry and so forth and so on. So people try to look at it from a different perspective because there is a geographical need and that is the area where they can really cater towards it. Next one, you need to have better infrastructure. You need to have people around over there. Okay, you need to try to look at it as a such. The best part, which is yet to come, and it's going to be still a lot of discussion over there. Okay, which is of course which is happening at IIT Bombay, is that a student like engineering student likes to do in a 4-year program. In a 3rd year, he would like to take a break. Okay, and he tells that I want to establish a startup. Okay, and that goes through a review process, and he's quite comfortable. Okay, in the cracking the review process of the startup policy over there, and he is being given opportunity to start a company. The time he spends on establishment of a startup that is being converted into credits. Okay. And then he gets a degree because he has established a company. Okay, now that's a quite challenge when we look at it. It's still in the evolving stage as to how they have done and how it's going to fit into the system in the other systems over there. So that is another thing which we find it as a such. Okay, so that's NISP also looks towards telling, try to fit into that, look into from that perspective over there. That also is one of the aspects which is there. Okay, but still it is in the evolving stage. We will try to look towards as to how it comes over there. Next one which they have included over there is that if a faculty wants to start a startup, okay, how to look at it? How to look at it? Like, will he be earning money from that? Will he be paid the salary for that? Okay. Or what would be the rules over there? Or if he takes a stake in that company, how to look at it? So these are the norms. Okay. So you find each organization getting into different. We have find some very interesting organizations over there. And we did a study of that and try to find out how the faculty norms are there. Few of the organization tells if the startup is really good and you got a stake of 8% or so, not pay the salary. Either you take a stake there, you be an employee, but you need to do the teaching load that is not reduced over there. It's still there. Okay, so that's still there. Okay, and you still need to continue with the research. But only thing you are whatever time you used to spend time with the organization, you are doing it in a startup. So it is a passion that you have done. So that is also one incident. Or else faculties need to look towards saying that I don't want a stake, okay, but I want to mentor over there. So that is also one way of looking at of startups, okay, holding the faculties. Okay. So these are the different evolving things which are coming up with this NISP. Okay. The biggest thing what we are finding over here is that how to merge, how to get amalgamate with the education system. That is what we are trying to look towards this. Okay. But this is one of the biggest thing to look from one perspective. One is that how to be self-sufficient as a student. Okay. Second, I have my ideas. I get an opportunity to try on my ideas. Okay, before I really look towards telling how the product is going to be. So that's why this policy has come. Very interesting things. Students come out with different apps. Told that your app has to be looked from this perspective, your app has to be from another perspective over there. Okay. So that makes a sense to them. Will it be a successful? Will it not be successful? So student while doing the study, he'll get a clarity over there. How can he be successful as an entrepreneur? Okay. So that's going to be really making a huge difference to the younger generation over there. Okay. And with the full facilities to look from that point, it makes sense as such. So what we had today of an half an hour or 45 minutes, a small discussion over there, okay, is only understanding how the policy comes into the picture as such. So it's all about, okay, in understanding this. One of the finest when you look at it, people who have gone the NISP as a such, role models you'll find it over there. The IIT Bombay sign is really nice. Okay. You can always visit and look into it. How beautifully they have, because they have evolved through startups. Okay, they have done a lot of work over there. They have done a lot of work. IIT Kharagpur is also another one which has been evolved very well over there. Because why I'm taking this education institute and why not this Pandey Foundation is that the context is different for both of us. Maybe the objective is different at that point because we are in the education institute and we are trying to fit to the incubation center into an education institute. So we need to look towards who can guide us as such. Okay, that's how it came out all about that. Okay, so looking at that particular aspect, we do find these are more successful. Okay, and they are there for almost a decade or so. Okay, they are a decade or so, and their challenges, their thoughts, they're very fantastic. Okay, and the best part of all that, if you go to the website, you do find how they have evolved over there. Okay, and what challenges you'll find it over there. You find a lot of people speaking over there, how they take care of the students, because this generation brings a lot of ideas. So each idea they have got yearly an idea hackathon kind of a thing. The best idea is being given a mentorship. The mentors who are really good over there, who complete the mentoring process, then they are given opportunity of starting a startup. They are given a money as a seed capital over there, and they work over there. Okay. And those who have got a seed money over there and starting establishment of a startup on campus, they are been given or awarded the degree of engineer. It is on a different platform. Okay, different platform. Okay, but yes, we can take some good practices from them. Okay, good practices, and that's what we are trying to look at it. So the best model to understand this policy over there is these IITs. Okay, even IIMs. Okay, the institutes who have developed for over a period of time. IISc is another example to understand the NISP. Okay, and the same concept that it is coming down to the grassroots level. So a student gets an opportunity, okay, to use his ideas, establish his ideas, and trying to do something good for it. So that's how the ideas are there. Okay. I think this is a brief background about the whole NISP policy as such. Okay, and we can go into the depth of it, but the main gist of it, if you look at it, it's about Do we have an infrastructure? It's not on the building, but the MOUs. Okay. Second, do we look at the thrust areas? Which is the geographical area where we can really solve the problem over there? Two. Okay. Second, how we look at the faculties over there? Okay. Should we make it? Three. One, should the students be given students and IPR is a very important one. There's a fourth area that comes into the picture over there. Okay. And that's how it goes along. Okay. There are some financials like 1% and so on. There's a regulatory thing. But the most important thing is how you look at the policy over there, how you understand the policy, where it is over there. Okay. And in the end, fine, sir, you told all this. Do you have any examples which are more applicable? So you can visit any of these IIT's websites. Okay, I'm telling you websites because they are dumping so much information. Okay, even the YouTube videos they have got. It makes a lot of sense. You'll come to know a lot of things over there. So a student can go over there and try to understand how to look at it. Okay, so this policy is going to be wonderful. Okay, and it's going to change the whole dynamics as such. Okay, so this is what we have got. Any questions from your end? I really welcome. You can text it. You can ask over there. We'll try to have.
Or if you have any question, please feel free to ask it to the guest speaker. Yeah, hello, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, this is Kiran here again.
Yeah.
I would just be interested in knowing how to begin with. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Kiran. Yeah.
So I'm just interested in knowing how to begin the procedure to start up.
The best is starting center and campus. Okay, that's the first way of looking at it. Okay, and maybe a little infrastructure up and down, fine. Okay, start incubation. Okay, second, try to look towards establishing an IPR center. Okay? Try to talk to a few people. Okay, I think you have got a lot of resource available who can help you in IPR. Okay, because that's going to be the main important thing. Okay, and third, look at the thrust areas where you would like to focus. Okay, I just randomly told over there agriculture over there or horticulture because we always know that's the best thing which is available right now. Okay, it's doing really great over there. Okay, so there might be other thrust areas which might be also you would like to cater. So trying to look towards thrust areas, that is the third important thing. The fourth important is that creating awareness among the students, telling that we do have a facility of incubating you or doing a pre-incubation sessions, like having something called as startup policies or having an idea hackathon or something that creates a vibe. Okay, and then you get startups, then you can go along with that. So that is where the policies come and other things fall into the place over there. Okay, so that's how. And if you want to look at the policies, the sign has got the policies as to different policies they already have displayed, and they are all reusable. That's what they always tell. Okay, so you can always look into it. So the best starting is start off as early as possible. You get look at the thrust areas, try to have a idea. It makes sense. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Are there any questions, especially from the young student entrepreneurs? This is the chance to interact with such experienced personality. All right, sir. Thank you very much for giving us this in-depth knowledge on NISP and also sharing your own experience with us. Definitely, I think
Yeah.
it will motivate these young budding entrepreneurs over here.
Yeah.
And thank you for accepting our invitation and making time in spite of your busy schedule.
Yeah, that is really nice. Okay, really nice, Kiran. It was really nice to have you. Okay, and thank you for inviting me. Okay, and it was really pleasure interacting with you. Okay, you all guys. Okay, and if anything, please get in touch if you want any assistance anytime. It's always there. Okay, maybe a text would come out over there. I normally don't get the too many phone calls at times over there. Okay, I think to get in touch. I'm sorry for that because I wait for response over there. Okay? But other things, if you want any help, anytime over there. Okay? Kiran, it was really nice. Really nice. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was a pleasure to have you.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, now it's my utmost responsibility to thank all those who are responsible for this successful event. Now, to start with, I would like to thank Dr. M.B. Patil, sir, for being the backbone of this institution, and also extend my thanks to Sri Rahul Patil, sir, who is the director of BLDA's association, for his constant encouragement to carry out such innovative activities. Also, I would like to extend my thanks to our principal, who unfortunately couldn't attend today's webinar, but he had always been a motivating factor in conducting such events. I would also thank our HOD, Dr. Pushpa B. Patil ma'am, for her constant support to conduct such events. And then I would like to thank R.D. Salgas, sir, the president of IIC, for conducting this whole event. And then I would like to extend my thanks to Professor Pradeep Deshpande, Vijay Kumar Jetti, and Pawan Mahendrikar for their technical support. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all the participants over here for being so patient and making this event a grand success. Thank you all. God bless you. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.